Hello, this is Mr. Vale. I'm the director of the concert band and jazz band, two of the groups which will be going on the California trip for this year. This video will cover the information on the packet that was given out with all the permission slips and all the things that the students need to know on what to pack and what's going to be going on for the trip. And we'll go through this as well as a couple other pieces of information. If you have any questions, please email myself at cvale@pusd11.org or tbamey@pusd11.org. On the first page of the packet is what you'll be looking at for what was needed and the information that we're looking to get from you. There are several pages in this packet, and at the end of the packet is also all the information that we need if we're administering any medicine at any point on the trip. One of the first things we want you to do is get out your phone and set up to receive text messages from us for the trip. So you'll see that the number is 623-777-3916, and we want you to send a message at Cali SMHS, and you'll be signing up for a listserv that we can send information to you. Really, the big reason for this is if we need to get a hold of the students faster, or on the way back, we would like to text you to let you know that we're about 1 hour out, so you know what time to expect us back at the school if you're picking up your child or if they are expected to be driving home. A couple of reminders. We'll be doing grade checks on Friday, March 7th, and checking up again on those on Monday, March 17th. All students must have at least a D in every class in order to be going on the trip. And at this point, it's report card time, so we know all the grading should be done, so we won't be expecting any changes once we look at the books. All the paperwork that is going to be turned in for the trip is due on Monday, March 24th. First page includes a list of all the chaperones and the parents who will be going with on the trip. So I want to say thank you to everyone who is volunteering their time to help make this trip very successful. What to pack? We're asking students to have one suitcase, one carry-on, and of course their instrument and any equipment they need for their instrument. Some things we recommend: comfortable clothes and t-shirts and jeans. California is a little bit cooler, so we know that they need to dress accordingly for that. The bus travel. We'll be spending a lot of time on the bus, so dressing comfortably, but no pajamas and so on. And we do recommend jeans just because, or pants, it just will be a little bit cooler. For Thursday night, what they're wearing on the bus, they can use for that event as well. On Friday, they'll be wearing their tour shirt, which we'll be putting in their suitcase for them, and they'll be using that for their performance and when they go to the Grammy Museum. Friday night is the dinner cruise, which is a nice dinner, and usually the students either just enjoy the cruise itself, or we have had opportunities to play music, so we do open up as a bit of a dance. So they'll need to bring some some formal attire to do that. For Disneyland, of course, walking shoes or sunscreen, because we're obviously going to be on the sun a lot and walking around a lot, and anything they need to get ready in the morning. For the medication, this is the important part. If they take any prescription medication, we're going to need that prescription medication in the original containers it is sent with by the doctor, and we'll need the paperwork for each medicine they're taking. And if you'd like the student to take Tylenol or anything else over the counter, they need a form for that. And if they need to carry any inhalers or other similar medication for things such as asthma, there is a form for that as well, and we'll take a look at that at the end. This trip we try and cover as many of the meals as possible, so the only time they'll be buying food will be on Saturday in Disneyland after breakfast. Breakfast is provided by the hotel, so Saturday lunch and dinner should be it. Souvenirs, there's 3 opportunities to be buying items at Disneyland: Thursday night, which is Medieval Times, and on Friday, which is the Grammy Museum. The fine print, just about making sure that they only bring what's appropriate. Obviously, for listening devices, we want to respect everyone else and the space that we're in, as well as the bus. Movies, only G and PG can they be bringing along, and we will be checking everything before we head out. The itinerary, we are really accurate with our travel times, and for the most part, where you see us is where we'll be. This is not a relax or downtime kind of vacation. This is a very busy trip, so you'll notice that the students are always somewhere and always on the move. So you can feel free to hold on to this so that you can know where we're at throughout the entire event. On Thursday, we're asking the students to bring the luggage to school. We prefer they bring it to us before first hour. We do have to do a luggage check, and it is something we need to do so that we can sign off that we know what we're traveling with, and and what we have with us. That was a change with 9/11, that we understand that we know what's underneath that bus at all times. So we'll be going through the suitcases and through the carry-on, of course, the instruments as well. We'll be loading about 9 a.m. and then heading on the road. The lunch is provided as part of the trip. It'll be given to the students on the bus, and our arrival event is at medieval times, which will be about 5 o'clock. And so we'll get a chance to get off the bus and then have dinner. It's a dinner performance event. And then when that's over, we'll get back on the bus and then head back to the hotel. On Friday, we're splitting up. The choir is headed to one site a little bit earlier for some performances. The band orchestra is heading off to set up the performance area, and the choir will be joining up later. So the choir has one schedule, and any student who's in choir, even if they are in band and orchestra, is expected to go with the choir schedule. And then the band and orchestra students will be heading out, like I said, to different locations. After about 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll be combining back up. We're performing at a middle school and an elementary school, and doing some educational opportunities where we're performing for younger students and doing some teaching at the same time. When we're combined, after the performance is done, we'll be headed over to the Grammy Museum, and once we're providing lunch on the bus, we'll be handing that to the students, and then they'll have a couple hours at the Grammy Museum. When they're done there, they're expected to change out from their tour shirt and change into what they need to for the dinner cruise. We're not going back to the hotel. We'll get to the location for the dinner cruise and then enjoy that. After that's done, we'll then head back to the hotel. On Saturday is the day at Disneyland California Adventure. So we'll be checking out of the hotel, and then we'll be at Disneyland for the day. What we do for Disneyland is we expect the students to stay together in groups, and between the time of 1 and 3, we expect each person to come in and check in at the flagpole, which is in Disneyland, to come and see their teacher. We'll be there for those 2 hours. We expect the students to come check in with us, let us know how they're doing. And then, of course, then enjoy the rest of their day. A slight change this year: Disneyland is closing 1 hour earlier than usual. They will be closing at 11. So, unlike in the past where we usually stay till about midnight, we're actually leaving the park at 11 when it closes, and then reloading the buses and heading home. So instead of getting home at 7:30, which is what we usually expect, because we're leaving an hour earlier, we'll be getting home about 6:30 in the morning. There is the information for the hotel. If you'd like to call or have any information, you want to check out that location. This is the same place we've been using for the past few years. Our teacher cell phones are on there. If an emergency arises and for some reason you need to get a hold of your child and are unable to, our cell phones will be working, and you can use that if an emergency arises. Trip rules: this is a lot like what we call school rules, showing respect, being on time. That's why we'll be posting these itinerary just about everywhere we can. We expect students to be where they're supposed to be at the time they're supposed to. The first time they miss, it's a warning. The second time that they miss a time, they will be spending some time with us at Disneyland instead of wandering around and having fun. We expect, obviously, appropriate behavior in everywhere we're at, including the hotel, because there will be other guests there, of course. We've listed all the appropriate attire they need for all the events, and that's why they have to pack it now, so they can start preparing and figuring out what it is they need to pack so they can make sure they dress accordingly throughout the entire trip. Lights out means that they're in their rooms and the volume is quiet, so everyone else can rest accordingly. We do tape doors, and we do have chaperones on duty on each floor. Boys are on one floor, girls on another. And we do not expect at any point that to change. If a girl's on a boy's floor or vice versa, once again, they'll be spending some time with us. There is no need to do that. There is a lobby, and there's other areas for the students to meet if they need to exchange anything or take care of anything. Consequences: like I said, the first time we will warn them if they don't follow rule the second time. Usually if it's something on the lighter side, like missing a call time or something like that, then they will be spending some time with us. But if there's issue with severe rules, which we'll go over in a second, then if need be, we can send them home. Music and equipment, we're taking a lot with us, so we do ask everyone to be careful and be respectful and be mindful of what's going on, and help remind each other, be a good team player, and just make sure everyone else is taking care of everything, so nobody leaves anything anywhere or has any other issues. We want everybody to show respect to each other. Severe rules: these are the same that we use in our handbooks, and it's the same for the school, so no changes there. And really, the important thing is that we represent the school and the district, and we'll do a great job of doing so every chance we have, every moment that we're together until we get home. And so we expect the students to do the same. And if they can't handle that, then we will need to send them home. So this first page is the signature page that you've read the handbook, that your child has read the handbook, and that needs to come in. And so we know that you understand all the rules that are in there. And then there is some medical form paperwork. So the first is the over-the-counter medication. So this is the Tylenol form and similar medicines. So we ask that you fill out the front and back, and then we'll keep this with us so we can do that. We also have the prescription medication form, and then there is also if the student needs to administer their own stuff. So here's once again the Tylenol ibuprofen form. So you lost to let you know that we'll carry this with us so the students don't have to. They can just ask us if they need anything. This form allows us to take care of if the student needs to carry anything. And then this is the one that's for the prescription medicines. And so for this one, if they take several items, we need one for each one. And so you can go back to the website. These forms will be available. So if you need more copies of any of these forms, you can print them out at home and take care of it accordingly. And then there is one other document, which is the permission slip. So let me just go ahead and pull that up. Okay, this is the permission slip, which is also the last document that every student needs to turn in. On here we need their information, we need their teachers to sign, which is in these boxes right here, and then all contact information. So if anything happens, we have several phone numbers to contact you at if the situation should arise. So please fill it out with all the information we need on there. There is also a section for the medical information, insurance, and stuff. So if someone gets sick in, say, Disneyland expects us to show them this form so they can give them anything that they need. And all the locations we have will ask us for this so that we can make sure that the site can take care of them as needed. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us. My email is cvale@pusd11.org, and Miss Bamey's is tbamey@pusd11.org. There is the form to turn in for the handbook. There is this form which you're looking at right now, which is the permission to travel form, and then there's the 3 different medical forms depending on what they need to take. All those are due by March 24th, which is the Monday, the week of the trip. And if you have any questions, please email us as soon as you can, so we'll be glad to answer those for you. Thank you, and have a great day.